get so mad, there's no control
Ladies and
of me.
gentlemen,
My thoughts
just in
get
case
so
you
bad,
live
I'm
under a
like,
rock,
I might
you
grab
are
a
looking
bat, I
at the
don't know, my
youngest
rap, my
and
blood
best
boils
rising
over like,
star in
oh God, here
professional
goes. I
wrestling
lost all
today.
feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you gon' wish you was just a fuck up real bad.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is BX Sports Jedi Kev. It is Tuesday. You know what time is it? It is the Monday Night Raw WWE report, the review here on the Heel of the Ring podcast. Going a little solo today because it was recorded a little early. I'm on my way, getting ready, getting prepared for going live to the Performance Center this evening for NXT Live 2.0 on the USA Network. I will be there in attendance, and hopefully we're going to see Roxanne Perez cashing in her opportunity, her women's breakthrough tournament contract to take on the champion, NXT champion, Mandy Rose, live in USA Network. I will be there live and in color. I will have the report tomorrow, but let's come when we hear. But first things first, here in the Heel of the Ring, if you ain't down with the Heel of the Ring podcast, I've got 2 words for you. Just subscribe. Indeed, indeed. Thank you guys for joining me this evening. Let's get right to it. Monday Night Raw, the episode of July 11th, 2022 from San Antonio, Texas. We open up with the one and only, the beast incarnated, Brock Lesnar, returning to the red brand, to the Raw brand, 3 weeks after returning, making that appearance on SmackDown, letting us know what WWE's plan is for the Universal title at SummerSlam. Of course, Lesnar receives a huge pop from the WWE Universe in San Antonio as he gets in the ring. Let me tell you something about Brock Lesnar. He's improved his microphone skill. You know, we're now with that new babyface cowboy Brock Lesnar. It works. To me, I kind of like it. I think it works. I love the fact when he said pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. He called and Roman Reigns a hog, I guess because he's holding both universal titles. And also that part, look who's talking, a part-timer making fun of another part-timer. But all in all, it was a good promo there until we get the interruption from the one and only Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes up and interrupts the segment. I like the back and forth. I really like, of course, who doesn't like Paul Heyman on the microphone? I think that's why they gave him to Brock Lesnar to be a mouthpiece. Also got Brock Lesnar over. And when they were together back in their day, and also now with Roman Reigns, although Roman Reigns could cut a good promo like anyone now, but in the beginning they put him there just to get him along to help out anyone Paul Heyman has ever worked with. Usually they're wrestlers, when they move away, they get great at promo skills. Cutting a promo, speaking. Paul Heyman is a very creative mind. Going back all the way to Chi-Town, the Rumble in Chi-Town back in '89 in the NWA days. You know, I remember when he had that 6-man tag, with the Midnight Express, and of course against Jim Cornette and their Midnight Express. It was a real riot. I loved it when they both were in the ring. Paulie with the old cell phone. I am a big fan of Paulie for many years. Of course, we all know him for the ECW owner and creative mind, and now hopefully now in the WWE creative. But he cut out a promo. They went back and forth. I loved how you were like, wait a minute, he sounded like the old Paul Heyman trying to butter up Lesnar. Says, yes, if it's in a street fight, it is Brock Lesnar's element. It is his territory. But if he has to show Roman Reigns to be that brutal and that lethal, he will. And I don't know if I love Brock Lesnar's line. He wants to stick his hand down his rear end and pull his heart out right from underneath. So a lot of back and forth there. Set it up there. A lot of heat. It's placating to us. SummerSlam is coming. and they're building it up there. So they're talking a storyline with the opening segment. It's good for the crowd to see Lesnar there in San Antonio. So, hey, let me ask you this. With you people in San Antonio, if you thought you were going to buy a ticket, and I would have told you when you first purchased the ticket, you were going to see Brock Lesnar, you would have been like, yeah, you're kidding me. Yeah, stop goofing on me. Yeah, maybe in a T-shirt. But now he was there live and in color, so it's good to see Lesnar there. And then we have another interruption from Mr. Money in the Bank himself, Theory, who is trolling. You saw him on SmackDown trolling the Tribal Chief with the briefcase, coming around, came out one time, and came again, made a little turnaround, threatening to see. Of course, Theory got on the mic, was talking about, while Theory taunted the Beast Incarnated, he started talking, and he remembers Elimination Chamber when he got thrown off by the Beast. He says, you know what? I hope you guys beat each other up so bad that I could cash this in and get these titles. But that was not all up his sleeve, as he now has, he has alliance with Alpha Academy, either an alliance or their buddy. We saw Alpha Academy come out, Gable and Otis try to attack the Beast Incarnated. My God. But Brock Lesnar had he was not asleep at the wheel. He had no time for that. I love the fact that he just kicked butt, does what Brock Lesnar does, the beast that he is. I love when he carried Gable to try to get him on a suplex. You see his little feet dangling. That was a funny spot without being funny. But he suplexed them, and then outside on the apron, outside F5, Otis right to the table. Man, that brought some heat. The San Antonio crowd was pumping, was electric. It looked really good from my living room, from home. I said, yeah, now we get some heat there. You got Lesnar showing that he's a beast, taking that big Otis and just slamming him, and then they try the interference. And I love the angle with Theory. Do you know if Theory is going to cash it in or not? We're like, wow, could we have a sneaky way of getting the titles? Because personally, I'm going to get into a little bit of a rant. Although I think things are changing a little, but if it's true with Roman Reigns working limited schedule, I think you need to take those titles away from him. I'm kind of getting tired of Roman Reigns not working. It works him as the Tribal Chief and being the heavyweight champion. I get it. I like that longevity of holding the belt and that obstacle. So whoever takes those titles away from Roman Reigns, it has to be a big deal. I love that. I love that long-term booking and long-term chase. But we got to see you, though, champ. Champ, we got to see you. We can't have you, take 2 months off, and then although we could say, oh, they did that with Lesnar. Lesnar held the Universal title, yes, but there was also another title. There was the heavyweight title on SmackDown that you had those two titles. If you're going to unify it, I would like to have more of a working champion. That at least we get to see him once a month. I kudos to Roman Reigns. We saw him on SmackDown on Friday. He worked on Sacramento in the house show on Sunday night. So he was working there, and he's also scheduled to be in Madison Square Garden, and also possibly in Orlando, Florida, this Friday coming up. And I got some spoilers there for this Friday coming up, so I'll get to that soon. I would like to see that. If Roman Reigns is going to work on this extremely light schedule, then WWE, take those titles off for him, because get the title off and split it. You're also going to draw heat. We want to see those titles showcased. And there was there's been a lot of complaints about your mid-card titles didn't have any meaning. The U.S., the Intercontinental, now you got two big giants, two big obstacles as champions. You got to like it. You also got to let the story develop as well. This is not a microwave situation. Everybody wants a microwave, heat up, but it's going to be developing. But Roman Reigns, for me personally, is not working as the grand champion if he's not going to be seen. Out of sight, out of mind doesn't work in this case. But I digress there. We go there. We saw that. I thought it was a great segment. It's people are rolling their eyes at Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar again. WrestleMania rematch. How many times we're going to see it? This is going to be different. This is going to be a street fight. Now, remember, there's a possibility of Austin Theory dangling that Money in the Bank. There's another stipulation. Will he be sneaky? We all know he's Mr. McMahon's handpicked protege, and they want to bring, and they're pushing us. They're feeding us that narrative. The youngest world champion, the youngest United States, the youngest Money in the Bank, the youngest. Dare I say, they would like to make him the youngest unified champion. You'll never know. Stranger things has happened in the WWE. Especially remember, I always said it here. If you're listening to my program Week In, Week Out, I always say one of Vince McMahon's biggest catchphrases back in the 90s in the WWF, expect the unexpected. He used to always say that in all his Monday Night Raws. It's in the world of the Wrestling Federation, expect the unexpected. That's a model that they always go there. Always expect the unexpected, because if we knew what was going on, one, why would we tune in? We would spoil the living crap out of it on all the Twitter and all the blogs, and all us that want to be wrestling insiders that we're not. We're just a fan, just giving our take of what we saw on Monday Night Raw. We will spoil it. That's why Vince McMahon and the creative team, not just Vince McMahon, in all kind of wrestling, you see them in creative trying to throw curveballs and trying to, like, I didn't see that coming, or try to change the storyline maybe at the last minute or whatever the case, because of this predictability of everybody wants to be they want to get it right first, and that's what's happening, I think, in my opinion. But we'll move on here. Definitely there. Then we finally see the first official match, you could say, of Judgment Day. Finn Balor taking on Rey Mysterio, and they're finally going to have the one-on-one here. Of course, you're going to have Dominic. You're going to have Damian Priest. All in all, I'm going to say that match was really, really good. It was good, but before the match started, the segment opened with Damian Priest cutting a promo. They're trying to recruit Dominic Mysterio extremely hard here. They're hinting and pushing us towards there's going to be a dissension here, a separation here with either Dominic Mysterio, although I don't think Rey Mysterio will turn the heel here. But would it surprise you if Mysterio is the one that turns? I say, Hijo, you need to, I'm going to say, Hijo, you need to swim. You got to learn how to fight on your own, and maybe he'll, I'm going to the Judgment Day. You need to figure it. You never know, never say never, but it looks more like it's going to be Dominic there. He looked disinterested, but later looked disinterested while Rey and Finn fought, and it was a very entertaining exchange. Balor earning the clean victory with the coup de grace, and meanwhile the next segment shows that we're what's going to happen. Also, I digress. They mentioned about in Spanish, Damian Priest said they're going to celebrate the 20-year career of Rey Mysterio in Madison Square Garden. To me, I think that's where that the heel turn is going to happen at Madison Square Garden. I mean, what else place to do it in the world's most famous arena? With the WWE, big roots started at Madison Square Garden, from WrestleMania to all the house shows to the birth of WrestleMania with the Roddy Piper hitting Captain Lou Albano over the head with the solid gold plaque, with Mr. T coming in to help Hulk Hogan. The history, guys. That's Madison Square Garden is the main attraction there, the big one. So could I see a memorable night? Father turn on son, or son turn on father? I think that might happen there in Madison Square Garden. I think so, but we'll break that down just maybe a couple next week, 2 weeks from now. So it's right around the corner for that Monday Night Raw. We get to there. So then we have the next segment shows the Women's Raw Champion, a rematch of Money in the Bank. We have Bianca Belair taking on Carmella. Now, before I even get to all this match, I'm going to tell you one thing here. Before the match starts, we see Becky Lynch comes out to commentary to sit down, and she's interjecting. She got up and says that she deserves to be in the title shot at SummerSlam because she beat Asuka last week, and she's on a roll. She needs a title. She's demanding a title shot. Then Carmella comes out. I'm going to say one thing about Carmella. The more she works house shows, the more she's in the ring, you could tell that Carmella is putting work in her craft. She has gotten much, much greater as a in-ring competitor. I don't know if the chemistry with Bianca Belair is working to a chef's kiss, or is her working on her craft, because she has gotten much more. She's more pleasant to watch in the ring, although we all know that it was Bianca Belair was going to go over and was going to win this match. We knew that. We knew that she was going to retain. There was not going to be a title change, but they made it entertaining. They made it believable. They made it where it wasn't easy for Bianca Belair. That's how you want to sell your champion. Obstacles, she retains, even though in all the fighting and all the difficulty and adversity, your champion still overcame. I enjoyed this match. One thing I can tell you about WWE ladies, they all put on a great match. All these ladies, you see them from the main event on Monday Night Raw, closing out Monday Night Raw, even to WrestleManias, to all the different pay-per-views or premium events. The women of WWE is getting more and more greater than, and even sometimes the men, and there's an influx of young women coming up from NXT, guys. If you don't watch NXT, guys, and you're listening to me on the WWE Talk, there's an influx of ladies that are on their way up to the WWE with storylines. So you don't have this repeat. And I'm not complaining about the repeat matches with Asuka and Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch in the title. I'm not complaining either. But there's going to be an influx. Trust me, there's going to be a lot of young women, good wrestling women coming up. You already see some of them in SmackDown. And Raquel Rodriguez. You see it in Shotzi. You see it in Leah. You see them. There's also a lady, keep an eye out, in about 6 months, maybe less than that. Nikita Lyons. Mandy Rose might be coming back up to the main roster, bringing on her tag team partners or her facet, Toxic Attraction. Another ladies who could bring it. They're great in competitors, ring competitors who are phenomenal as a tag team. They're up and coming. You also have Cora Jade down there. She had a phenomenal match with Natalia. They tore down the house in NXT. 2 weeks in a row. So there is a big influx of talented women. So we might see that. So we will see there. We'll see there. I understand. I see a comment in the chat that says last night it confirmed I can't support WWE anymore at WWE because of Vince. Well, I understand your politics. I understand that. But remember, Marcus, there is these folks is not the folks that is trying to make a living to eat by entertaining us. I understand that he benefits for the most money, and I'm not saying right or wrong. You have your opinion. I totally respect that. Remember, these in-ring performers, men and female, they're in there to entertain us. And they're out there really working hard and trying to earn a living for their families. I understand we shouldn't penalize those hard workers, those young men and women in their craft because of, unfortunately their leaders' mistakes. So I just didn't want to get into that part, but I do respect that. That's why I am a little negative at times with AEW, the sloppiness and stuff, but I also respect the in-ring competitors because they need to eat, and we need to entertain them to eat. So I get your point there. So thank you for the chat there, and thank you so much. I appreciate for you joining me here. I greatly appreciate it. So back with that, with the women's, when I was mentioning about the women, an influx of a lot of women in here. They also have, Tiffany Stratton, another young lady who is just phenomenal, who could handle on the microphone, a former bodybuilder who's a gymnastic, who could wrestle. Don't botches her moves. She's also ready to come up. So women is getting an influx of women talent for the WWE coming soon there. So if you're after, also my hot take of the week was this Saturday, NXT was in NXT Orlando. You could Google it, or you could actually go to Twitter, put hashtag NXT Orlando. You see all the pictures, all the wonderful event that took place in the Inglewood Recreation Center in Florida. Eva Rainey, aka Simone Johnson, The Rock's daughter, cut her first promo. Of course, you might have heard it everywhere, but if you didn't, she cut her first in-ring promo. Was really good on the mic. You could see that she's going to be a star. She's going to have grace. Of course, it's going to be rough, growing pains with her, of course. And my point was backstage, who was at backstage, and that's a performance center, or in that it was an auditorium area in Orlando. I live in Orlando, and Bailey was there. Bailey was there at the event behind backstage. She saw some fans privately. She was there also, aka Sasha Banks was not in that event. No, but she is in Orlando, Florida. Now, what I'm saying is, they might have pulled her off Peacock from the whatever the case is, the Avatar, pulled her internally, whatever everyone's saying. She is not released by the WWE. To me, she has a new contract. She will have a new contract. She will be back in the WWE. She's not. That's just me. She's not going anywhere. They're gonna rehash. They rehashed it last week. They spent the whole week in Orlando, Florida. Sasha, You see, Bayley was here as well. Bayley personally is going to make her appearance return this Friday night in Orlando at the Amway Arena in SmackDown, live from Orlando, Florida. Of course, she's been working out at the Performance Center, getting her reps in, getting ready, going to see what gimmick, and working with the producers, aka the bookers, the instructors at the Performance Center. Bayley is in Orlando. Bayley's been here for 2 weeks. Sasha's been here for a while too. I don't know if she's been in the Performance Center. I haven't had my insights on that yet about it. Remember, I only live 2 miles away from the Performance Center, folks. 2 miles, not just a couple of lights away, and I'm there. So I'm not saying I have any insights, but I can see with these here is my best insights. My eyes. I don't need the glasses. I wear them so I don't get the blue light, and I can sleep at night. That's why I wear them. But I don't need them to see. But I can tell you what I see. But I digress there. So I'm calling it. Becky Lynch, Bayley will be Friday night. She'll come out, interfere, whatever the case is, interject herself in the women's. We all know Charlotte Flair will be returning soon. Not quite yet. Maybe at SummerSlam. I don't know if she'll return in Orlando this Friday, but Friday is going to be a big show because everyone from the Performance Center, plus everyone from the main roster will be here. I'm hoping tonight I get some nuggets when I go to NXT live tonight. I will be there in the Performance Center tonight, live on the USA Network. You're going to see me with the Hulk Hogan shirt and the Thunder Lips. I'll be sitting there as soon as the guys go up in the ring on the steps. I will be right there. You'll see my mug there. So cheap pop for myself there. But anyway, we'll move on to the Raw continuation here. You have one thing. We finally got some clarification with Tommaso Ciampa, aka Champa. I know everyone in the internet was going crazy. What in the world is the WWE doing with Ciampa? Oh, they're ruining his career. He was so phenomenal in NXT. I don't know what direction the WWE goes. And I mentioned saying that for the past few weeks. Let's relax. Let the WWE creative get the direction for Ciampa. Ciampa right now is trying to figure out who, when he performs, when he wrestles backstage with the bookers, with the producers. They want to know what storyline, what angle, what chemistry he works with. Remember, this is debut. You only really get one debut, and you want to make sure it pops, or get into under wing. What not better person to have under your wing even if you put him as a tag team, because Ciampa won NXT title as a tag team as well as a solo with the Miz. Miz right now, of course, we all know he caught some great promos, guys, phenomenal promos. But lately in the ring, he hasn't been like must-see in-ring action. You got now Ciampa. You could actually add another tag team for a while until you, of course, we know that the heel split or the backstabbing. Although but I like that he's kind of taking Ciampa under his wing, and of course now we see that Logan Paul is now with the WWE. Not just a one-and-done contract. Logan Paul is going to be working on a couple of programs here. Don't be surprised if we see now in the ring. In the wrestling ring, Logan Paul versus Tyson Fury. I know the boxer, and I know novelty, but WWE knows how to make those spectacles. What do you think? Just put it this way. Let me put this in your mind. Tyson Fury, Logan Paul, Clash of the Castles for the people in UK. Phenomenal. Yeah, that whole spectacle. You could even add that if you want to put that as you could add that with stipulations, whatever the case is. Even if you want to protect them in a tag team. I don't know, who builds up to it. Who'll see whoever Logan, if it's the Miz, the Miz and Tyson Fury. Well, Ciampa will be like an enforcer, and you got Logan Paul with AJ Styles. Something like that. Just let it unfold. But I can see Tyson Fury and Logan Paul being the mid draw for all those people out there in the UK when they go to Clash of the Castles, and then eventually they'll lead up to their one-on-one in Survivor Series. Never know there. We heard the Gypsy King is interested in coming to WWE, as well as Israel Adesanya, the middleweight champion for UFC, was talking about also wanting after the UFC. He wants to get into the World Wrestling Federation, get it, wrestling entertainment, get to become a wrestler. He came in with the Undertaker theme music into the UFC. His last fight with McMahon was at ringside. When it was full authorization, it looked phenomenal, and he looks like he has a showman type of deal. We see those UFC fighters after a while transition into the World Wrestling Federation. Right? I like to see WWF believe, guys, I go back as far as that. I'm an old relic when it comes to wrestling. I'm still stuck with the F instead of get the WWE. But go into the WWE, I can see that eventually there. So we have the match here. We see now on the ring, Champa and the alliance with the Champa and Miz, and now AJ Styles comes out, telling them both, he's scheduled for a handicap 2-on-1 match. AJ Styles ready to come out, ready to attack, and all the music hits. It's Ezekiel. Ezekiel comes out, interjects himself, introduces himself first and foremost to AJ Styles. That's going to be a tag team partner. So we have a tag team match here to be a legal competitor. Ezekiel is really good. Oh, it's over, but I feel like when Kevin Owens is not involved, it's kind of missing a flair there. Something's happened with Kevin Owens. If he's injured, sick, or hopefully that's it. I hope there's not a disagreement or dislike, because I haven't seen Kevin Owens at all, since we were talking about getting Elrod, and then had to scrap that. We haven't forgotten WWE Universe. So please let us know. Don't leave that hanging there. But I like the fact that you put Ezekiel there. The match, I think, was a really good match, man. I really enjoyed that match. That match between those two were really good. All four competitors. For some reason, I got to give it to Ezekiel. Ezekiel is a really good, Elias Ezekiel, he's a really good competitor. Okay, he does some phenomenal moves. He's phenomenal though. Where they go with him, I don't know. It's tough to see what WWE wants to do creatively, because that's why I would love them. I'm not saying he's heavyweight. I'm not saying he's championship material, guys. But split to just maybe have a program where you could see him working for a title run. Maybe he'll go. Maybe if Walter, aka Gunther, successfully defends his intercontinental title against Shinsuke Nakamura, maybe Ezekiel crosses the paths with him. I would like to see that, maybe, or I don't know. Who knows? If you want to find him a tag team partner, to team up with him. Maybe him and Kevin Owens say, what, screw it, I can't beat you, I might as well join you, type of deal. Who knows on that there? But I remember, just wanted to give it a note. Zeke had the same gear since he debuted, so he hasn't had any color variation of any designs. So he's just the same. I like that kind of look, because he looks phenomenal. We get the win. AJ Styles and Ezekiel win by the disqualification. I know wrestling fans. I know a lot of podcasters. They get nuts when another DQ finish by the WWE. They never have winners. And it's not being tribal. It's just WWE's trying to tell a story here. Champa was so aggressive and so vicious that it disrespected or went above and beyond what the officials was trying to maintain order in the ring, to give this wrestler some reading to putting the wrestler in harm's danger, so she had to disqualify. And that was the storyline there. I know we don't like it. A lot of folks don't like it. I get what they were trying to do. It makes Ciampa look like a badass. Like, he just beat the living crap out of, and he just went berserk. The same thing is with Pete Dunne, aka Butch. That persona that he's a little nutty, that he just wants to pound, beat, and go, haywire. There's a storyline. They're trying to establish him as being a beat down, tough SOB. They're gonna kick your butt. They're gonna really hurt you. And that's what they were trying to do with Ciampa there. A lot of people don't see it. I understand. It's not another WWE with the same thing happened with the Bianca Belair Carmella match. I've mentioned. I went on a different rant. Didn't tell you that Carmella won by the disqualification of Becky Lynch interfering and causing a 10 count. I know, and I understand that one there. I think there was a way of protecting Carmella for her in-ring abilities getting better, and I think that's going to be a triple threat match. I wouldn't be surprised if both women's title matches in SummerSlam will be triple threat match. In my opinion, I think they're going to squeeze in a triple threat match on both ladies. In my opinion, or maybe a fatal four-way and one of them at triple threat. I just have a feeling it's not going to be a one-on-one in SummerSlam. I just saying that. So yeah, we get that from. We also have some great stuff. Ciampa, always hitting a running knee. He makes it looks really brutal. That's the thing. He makes his move look brutal, and he looks like he's hurting people out there. So, and then AJ Styles hitting that phenomenal forearm perfectly every time. He still has it. He at 45 years old. Which is not old. But of course, with all the ring years experience and all the bumps and bruises, AJ Styles is still there at his peak, one of the top performers. I don't know if a world title run is in him left. I don't know if WWE would want that. I don't know if how us as fans will react. Even if he ever has another title run, it's going to be a short term, maybe a transitional title run for AJ Styles. But man, personally, wasn't a fan of him before. I am now. I like I said, I appreciate these wrestlers because they got to eat, they got to entertain us. You know, I couldn't ever say this wrestler's like, you know, terrible. You know, even though when they do botches, but they're performing, they're out there. They, you know, I have a hard time knocking some of these performers in the ring, despite liking them, not liking them, because it's easier for me to sit here behind a chair, behind a green screen, and just say, this guy sucks, this guy's terrible. I got to show a little bit of respect for their craft. That's just me, guys. That's just my take. I just want to be honest. That's just my take as a wrestling watcher since 1982. Okay, and I'm not here to show how big is my, about how long I've been watching wrestling. No. I'm just giving you my personal opinion about watching so many different wrestling from different styles. That's why I'd say I'm now maybe my age now that I appreciate more of the in-ring performers of what they go through for so many years, watching them and seeing what the outcomes are. Some of them are go broke. Some of them are negative. Some of them are beyond rich, and the fame and the glory. We've seen the good, the bad, and ugly of the professional wrestling from since me personally since 1982 to currently now, And with that said, I just wanted to do a side note. Prayers out to Mongo McMichaels, who's not in good shape, man. He is really, on the other side, looking really, really bad. If you a person of faith, Mongo McMichaels, keep him in your prayer. That he finds the Lord and Savior before he is called to the wrestling, to wrestling eternally, because he's not in good shape health-wise. And Assange and Duggan, I see all these wrestlers that grew up and entertain us getting sick. Prayers out to them, man. I hope they feel, and their families, because they have to support and be with them. When we just say, oh yeah, we're prayers with you, but the family members and the loved ones that are there for them when they are in pain, in agony, don't have money. And Virgil as well, the WWE wrestler Virgil, all these different wrestlers, they entertain us for all these years, and they are sick. So yeah, for their families, for them. So we get back to the wrestling here. I just wanted to put that little bit of side note there on the Heel of the Ring podcast to all those entertainers that entertained us for many years. We thank you guys, and we thank you for entertaining us. And I hope you hear it while you're in life, while you have life, when you have ears to hear. From myself, from Heel of the Ring, thank you for all you guys for entertaining us. Hack Sergeant Duggan, Mongo McMichaels, Virgil, and many others that are ill that can hear us. If you wrestled in the ring and entertain us as a young child, as an adult, an adolescent, thank you for entertaining us. We appreciate it, man. So we get back to the Monday Night Raw review here with Alexa Bliss and Asuka taking on Doudrop and Nikki A.S.H. So Asuka and Alexa Bliss. I breathed because it kind of seemed like they were going to feud last week. And I was a little bit confused. I really think Doudrop is a really good wrestler, and also Nikki A.S.H. And I like that. It was a quick match, though. One thing, the crowd wasn't into it. I was a little down. I was a little disappointed. The crowd, they don't know if they were a little tired because of the Champa situation with Miz and Logan Paul. A lot of moving parts. I don't know why, but the crowd didn't really feel the energy for that match there. Alexa Bliss, although people think that Alexa Bliss is going meaningless, spinning her circles, although she has not been in a losing streak. She hasn't lost. The only time she came up short was Money in the Bank. Other than that, she's been on an impressive winning streak herself, either as a singles or as a tag. We saw her getting the Money in the Bank with Liv Morgan. You thought that might be an opportunity for them to be a tag. Although Liv Morgan, what has happened with Liv Morgan. Also with Asuka, we thought maybe that'd be a start of a feud, but looks like that's the start of a tag team. And also, we want to know what happened to the tag team titles. The tag team titles, I think, they're going to get resurfaced again once you see Toxic Attraction emerge into the WWE, which they're going to come up soon. They just dropped the NXT Women's Tag titles to Roxanne and Cora Jade, they're going to be called up once Mandy Rose drops her title. I don't think Mandy Rose drop it tonight to Roxanne Perez. I might be wrong. I might be seeing a woman, but if that's the case, we could see Toxic Attraction and Mandy Rose make an appearance on Monday on SmackDown. Maybe, possibility. But I will tune in tomorrow for the NXT report when I'm able to come in and tell you what I saw personally and what I'm thinking. But the women's tag titles, I don't know. It's 50-50 if they're going to rebring it or they're just going to scrap it. We shall see there. But we saw Bliss and Asuka win this match. You know, they look good as a tag team. You saw they hit the DDT on the former tag partner. You know, you saw, get that victory on Nikki and get the win. I thought we were gonna have a split between Doudrop and Nikki. It looked like it kind of hinted that might be a split. Thought we were gonna be a double split and Haywire there and have Alexa Bliss and Nikki become friends again or whatever. I just thought it just left there. Nikki, tried to do a chest bump with Doudrop and bounced right off. That was fun. I just wanted to put that. I was in my notes. A little bit of the moment there, and let's see, because we know that Asuka and Nikki have some great matches in the NXT. Maybe that's a feud that we see late now breaking up. Would I want to see that? Yes, yes, please. Because if we're gonna have the same kind of matches they had in NXT, if those that haven't watched it, just Google it. Just Google it real quick, or if you got YouTube, hit the YouTube, not Google, YouTube. Asuka versus Nikki in NXT. Any one of the matches. Asuka was undefeated in NXT for a while. She was really, phenomenal wrestler with the title. Watch it. Nikki also bought it in NXT. These ladies. That's why I'm excited for the new crop of NXT ladies that are coming up here, and we shall move on to the next segment. Now, one segment here, it started off a little bit puzzling, was the Usos. First, it was supposed to be, I thought it was a one-on-one with Dawkins taking on one of the Usos. You saw they were cutting promos. Of course, the number one promos, they come out. They interject with each other. Singles, there was a singles match. It was supposed to be a singles match between Street Profits and Usos. I think it was supposed to be Angelo Dawkins. Yes, was taking on Jimmy Uso. As usual, Jey and Montez Ford were there. Of course, they're their tag team partners, and they're going to be there. But all of a sudden, we had a interruption. R-Truth comes out. We hear his music. It's always fun to see R-Truth because the crowd, us as the crowd, love to see R-Truth. He gets us popping. He gets us going. He makes the move. Fun. People love to say, what time is it? It wasn't part of that 24/7 title comedy. He comes out and he starts talking about, and I love when Jimmy says, "Us, if you ain't here to be a special referee enforcer, you need to get going, Us." And first we find out that R-Truth said he's a counselor. He's certified for tag team counseling, whatever that means. He made it up. He had a certificate. And that's when Jimmy says, "Us, if you ain't got a referee shirt at all, you need to get out of this ring." So R-Truth comes out and he says, "I'm certified to be a referee." And he took off his shirt. He had a referee outfit on. It was all comedic, and they were like, he was being a joke. And R-Truth got upset to be calling a joke. He says, "Oh, really? You calling me a joke?" And R-Truth got serious. See, R-Truth, what I love about it, he could be comedic. He could be funny, and he could also be when he gets serious, he could go. And I'm like, oh, okay. I said, man, who's going to be the third member here? It's got to be someone that's in Raw right now. Nobody knew. It ain't going to be Roman Reigns because they would open up the show with him or whatever the case, interject with the Brock Lesnar. So I'm like, no, it's not Roman. And to everyone's eye-opening with an eyebrow was Omos. So Omos comes out with MVP, interjects himself, and let's make a 6-man tag here. It was made a 6-man tag, Omos and the Usos, taking on R-Truth and the Street Profits. And you know what? The match was good. The match delivered. We had some good moments there. The Usos, Usos, they're always great on the microphone. They could, no matter what, they could always cut. They've been really good on the microphone. And they didn't need to give any promos on every show, But it's, some people might say it might be a little repetitive. I thought it was fine. I always like to listen to the Usos talk. The truth is, to be the funny part of the WWE program every single week is our truth. We know that. We know that with the 24/7. But here's the one thing. I love Omos here. I know everyone says he's green, and yes, he is green, but they're bringing him up and working with some good wrestlers here. With R-Truth will make it almost look sharp, and of course he did that. He caught him with that. He tried the slingshot over him, and from the top ropes, that looked decent. Also, you saw him being a beast, and being the big monster that he is, punishing, and of course we see Omos comes in after a really good match. You see him come and body slams, pretty much choke slams down Dawkins. Although here's the one thing you could say, you could have gotten R-Truth to taking that pin there, because remember, you're trying to protect your maybe new unified tag team champions in Street Profits. You didn't want them to take a pin here, especially Dawkins, unless if they have another storyline that we're not seeing here, the Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels type of move at SummerSlam if they lose. But you got almost gets the pin on Dawkins, so should have been Truth there for the victory. I think, almost they protected him. Didn't look so bad. He didn't have to do, but the moves that he did were what a giant does, and he created havoc. That was cool. That was good. They told, I liked it. It was a real good moment there. So kudos to that there for the match before the main event there. And then we go main event time. We have Seth freaking Rollins and Theory with Bobby Lashley and Riddle. But before that, we saw a promo in the back where Theory's talking about being the number, talking the name, same stuff about him protecting Theory's winning streak battle. And he sees Rollins, and Rollins, he says, he interrupts Rollins' promo. Excuse me, I got that backwards. And you see that he wants to learn from him. He says, stick with me, kid, stick with me, kid. So is he under his tutelage? Who knows with that? I'm sorry I botched that one there. I had my notes backwards. Sometimes when you scrapple, it tends to get me a little bit funky there. But the match between Riddle, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, and Theory, it looks like Riddle, Lashley doesn't really, I'll tag with you, but I really don't want to be a pro type of move with Lashley. But it was main event. You saw these four guys in the ring. You always get a good match there, And right before we're about to start, we get the music. We get an intro, and we're like, who the heck is this? I hear it for the world. And it's Ziggler. Ziggler comes out with all in suit and tie, comes down to ringside, and you're like, why is Ziggler coming out here? I thought personally, man, is Ziggler's going after the United States title here. But if he wants to go against, interject him on the United States title, because it looks like it's set for Rollins is going to take on Riddle. That's going to happen for SummerSlam eventually. So Ziggler's coming out. I said, Lashley though? But Lashley's fighting Theory. Okay, it doesn't. Okay, so let's see. Unless if he's coming out as when I saw him in a suit, personally, I thought he was going to be like Rick Rude was, the special advisor holding the briefcase for DX. Remember when DX first started, they had China, Triple H, HBK, and Rick Rude. And I thought Rick Rude was going to, Rick Rude role, that role was going to be like a Ziggler's role. That's what I thought at first. So as the match goes on, it was a good match. Theory does a phenomenal job. Theory always gets and you know what I thought? Ziggler got a great reaction from the crowd. It wasn't a reinvention, because we saw him in the Battle Royal a couple weeks ago. We saw him also two prior weeks to that was with Rude, Bobby Roode, and the dogs. They interrupted Omos' promo, and it kind of like was another repackaging without really repackaging. So, the crowd loved it. I saw the match was really good. The men were physical. Man, that spear, that Lashley hit on Rollins out in the apron was killer. Of course, in the ring, Theory, much hate him or not hate him, he is a good in-ring competitor. In their ring there, you saw Theory try to get the victory with his foot on the ropes on Riddle, and Ziggler interjects to kick Theory's foot off the ropes, just to distract Austin Theory, and Riddle hits him with the RKO for the victory. And I go, wait a minute. That's already matches that Theory's losing. The United States title, you lost this Monday night here. It makes you want to think he is getting primed to become the Universal Champion, undisputed champion. Wow. But you saw Ziggler interfere here, hits him with a vicious super kick, and he just stands there with his hands raised above Theory there. He's a new face, Ziggler, and I love the fact that WWE production leaves. They ended there. They left us on a cliffhanger. Now we need to tune in. What's next? Next Monday Night Raw, if I'm the WWE, I'm starting with them. I'm starting with Ziggler coming out, cutting a promo, tell us what's going on, explain, because for folks, it was 11 o'clock on Monday night. I know it's summertime and people stay up a little late. Kids don't have to go to school, but the hardworking, the 9 to 5 guys or guys that work early like myself, go to sleep. I stay up because I have to take notes, but I got to go right to bed afterwards. But sometimes sleep beats you. Sometimes you start nodding, you miss. So in case sometimes people go to sleep a little early or they miss it, now you're like, oh man, I missed something. Oh man, I should have stood and watched it. Now you're intriguing the fan base or the casual or the in-betweeners, because now I got to stay for the third hour because things happen like that. Hope WWE capitalize and leaves it to cliffhanger. It doesn't have to be all the time or a new wrestler or something, but a little bit of a cliffhanger will be great to want to know what happened, what Ziggler's doing, what's his motive. I hope they open that with that myself, and go on forward with that. I can't wait to see what he has there. The former NXT champion, Ziggler. He will be now he's in the WWE back as a face. We'll see what happens there. I thought all in all the Monday Night Raw was very entertaining. It was it was good. It's not one of those memorable shows. You did see Brock Lesnar. Like I said again, if I would have told you when you bought those tickets in San Antonio months ago that you were gonna have Brock Lesnar on that card, you would say you were nuts. No, he's gone. He's not gonna be there. He's a part-timer. He was there. Even though cutting him preview, you saw him at 5. Otis, that was really good. You saw some good women match, either from Bianca Belair and Carmella. You saw good matches between Nikki A.S.H and Doudrop and that tag team taking on Alexa and Asuka. You saw that was good there. You got to saw Becky Lynch. You saw Seth freaking Rollins. You saw Riddle. You saw Theory. You saw Lashley. You got to see the heavy hitters in action. They gave you again in the ring. AJ, Miz, you saw them again in a tag team form. You saw the Usos. So all in all, San Antonio did get some good stuff there. It was fun. Remember, guys, if you might say, these matches again. Remember, it's because they're going to town. Remember, when they visit your town, you want to see a good quality match. You want to see you even saw Rey Mysterio. I forgot to mention that. So when they go to your town, they're going to give you some, maybe they might give you a repetitive match because it's your town that's going to get that match live to witness in person. So that's another reason why WWE does that too. Maybe you want to see Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, I'm using that as an example, and they fought in Madison Square Garden, but today they're in Scranton, PA. And okay, why should you? Because for some reason you live in Scranton, PA. Why should you be penalized and not be able to see Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins in Scranton, PA? So that's why they do those kind of matches. That's just me letting you know that just sometimes before we get that critical negative criticism, this is why they do that. Because hey, they're in that town, and you know what? Thank you, that town, whatever it is, either Scranton, PA, wherever. Thank you for giving me your hard money. Sometimes you might not make as much as in New York or that region of the country, but you still took your hard-earned money and decided to come see us and give it to us. So we're going to reward you with a match, even though we saw it last week, but we're going to give you the same match. Enjoy it. That's what happens when you go to these other towns. And unfortunately, these are live TV shows that sometimes they might show a repetitive match, maybe a different outcome, and this is what happens and concurs. So that's all I have here with the Monday Night Raw recap. I just wanted to go with a little bit of news and notes. I did mention I'm predicting Bayley is going to be on SmackDown this Friday night. I think she will come out. I think she will make her reappearance. She's been in Orlando for the past few weeks, and she will be making her return to WWE SmackDown, in my opinion, on Friday night. Also, former UFC Bellator MMA fighter Valerie Lorena has been already moved into the WWE in Orlando Performance Center. She's got her place. She is already a resident in Orlando, Florida. She will be next week is her starting to get work with the product. I don't know when she'll cut a promo. Maybe tonight in NXT. I think she'll be in attendance. I think she will be in the crowd. I will look for her, take a picture, and see to see if I can see her. But she will be. She's signed with the WWE. She's there already. She's going to be performing. That's another news and note there. Also, look for a lot of words from WWE internal. I'm talking about Nikita Lyons moving up on the main roster. They like what they see. She is very marketable. She is getting much better in her in-ring performance. I don't know if what that says with the NXT Women's title. Now that I think Mandy Rose is going to drop it, I can see Mandy Rose going up. She just her repackaging in NXT went perfect. I think she's going to bring Toxic Attraction with her going up, and they're going to be causing havoc in the women's division going forward. But I don't know if they're going to keep Nikita Lyons and give her the title run for a while. It'll be interesting tonight with Roxanne Perez. They will fight for the gold tonight. Also, another news and notes: Killer Cross. There's been a lot of Killer Cross talk. Killer Cross is not interested in returning to Impact Wrestling along with his wife. Is hesitant and does not want to sign with AEW. Doesn't mean that WWE is out of is the only one there. He just wants to take it easy. He whenever any of these wrestling organizations that want to bring him in to wrestle, he wants to talk to them and have a lot of creative control, similar to what Cody Rhodes has done. That narrative. I don't know if Killer Cross musters that much of an or a demand to say I need full control of creative. I don't know. You're not a Cody Rhodes, my friend. Yes, you are a good wrestler and so forth. What you could bring, but remember your run in WWE wasn't so hot. I don't know, but it looks like he wants to return to WWE because there's been numerous opportunities to go to AEW. And AEW is like the Wild Wild West. If you gotta, you do whatever you want with creative. You as long as you drew, if you have a W-2 form that says World Wrestling Entertainment, you're hired. You could do whatever you want. You would give you the keys to the kingdom here. Ask MJF, and Killer Cross not going there says something. I don't know. Take it for what it is, as a grain of salt. But he is not returning to Impact Wrestling neither. So Killer Cross, would it be in a good world that he returns? We shall see. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about was that promo, that mysterious promo that we saw on Money in the Bank. We saw more of it last night. The guy that was walking in that shadow looks like Edge. And all these people, all that speculation where they said about, we saw those Latino Heat, you saw Mick Foley's flannel shirt, Kirk Angle's Bengals, all the association that had matches with Edge. In my opinion, if it's Edge, it shakes my head because you should have just left him in Judgment Day because he's coming back as a spooky, dark character again. Wasn't he that in Judgment Day? Was going to be different here. So maybe it's WWE swerving away from that, or maybe Edge will bring in a facet of his own and go up against another dark. But dark versus dark, you need heel versus face. But if he comes in, maybe maybe here you bring a Bray Wyatt with an Edge. That'd be interesting dynamic. Maybe who knows? Maybe who knows with that. I'm still holding hope that is Bray Wyatt, but don't hold your breath. It looks like it's just Edge first and foremost, but we shall see. We shall see there. With that, I'm going to end the program here. Thank you guys for joining me. I try to talk a little bit of wrestling. I want to bring some more news and notes. I will have that NXT 2.0 tomorrow. Check it out. Hit that like, subscribe. I've said that if you ain't down with us, I got 2 words for you: subscribe. Just subscribe. Thank you. We are on all the audio platforms. If you can't see us on Roomba, Twitch, YouTube, or in the Facebook group, check us out in Spreaker, Anchor, Google, Apple, anywhere, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, anywhere that you hear your favorite podcast, audio podcast. Just put Heal the Ring or Bronx Sports Jedi Network first, then the Heal the Ring program, because we have other programs on the part of the BX Sports Jedi Network. MMA Weekly. We break down the MMA fight cards. and preview the upcoming cards. We give you predictions, who we like wins and all. And it's up to you to make some money off that. It's up to you to take our advice and you want to bet on your favorite fighters. Also, we have the Knicks, Return of the Knicks podcast. We have the Rangerstown Republic about New York Rangers. The Chef Dan Giants report, breaking down the New York Giants news and notes, as well as the Jets Alorian, all the news and notes of the New York Jets, the New York Yankees. Of course, you hear the watch-alongs here. We do all types of watch-alongs from the wrestling, WWE wrestling, running all the premium events. We do the watch-alongs. AEW, we do baseball, the Yankees, MLB. We do the boxing. We're actually boxing. We have done boxing watch-alongs. We do the MMA watch-alongs on the big pay-per-view main events. So join us, man. Subscribe. Become part of the Jedi family. Tell us in the chat, hello, how are we doing? We appreciate everyone, all the comments. I know this is a little recorded, except today is live right now with Marcus. Marcus, thank you for joining. Darkest, the devil may cry. Thank you so much for joining me here. I appreciate your support. Thank you. I know right now he's right now joining me on the Twitch network. Thank you so much. This is going to be airing later on this evening on the YouTube channel as well, and all the other platforms. But I want to say thank you again. May the sports be with you. Remember, pin life and always get over. And I'm going to say peace until next time.
Awesome! You people bought a ticket to see me, so shut up.
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you live under a rock,
I might grab a bat, I don't know, my wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, real